All right, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Sniper Squad Day Trading. My name is Hassan, and I'm here to go over my trade for the day. Before I get into that, if you guys could please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, Discord links in the description. All right, let's get into it. So, surprisingly, this morning, my gap scanner had like 8 things on it, and then at the open, it just went crazy and just like filled up. And that was really nice. It's like I haven't seen like anything like that in a month at least. And I don't know, man. It was just like, bro, like what is I was, changing settings every day trying to figure out, where the stocks are at. But, it's just the market's kind of weird right now. So, it was really nice to see that. But I settled in on OSCR after the open and just kind of sorting through the top gainers. And this one's set a nice level here. So the way I like to trade, I'm looking for these really high volume tops in these high volume areas, and I'll mark that. And I want to see continuation above those areas. So we get the test to VWAP, and then we make a new high above what I call HVS, high volume support. And then we pull back in to retest it. And I was really hoping for a much more narrow range candle that kind of held up um, at the level, but came down here to the EMA slash pre-market high. And I just this is the same entry that I passed up on Lunar a few sessions ago. And same reason. It gives you such a wide risk that the target becomes out of reach. And so I took this entry which put my target at 1524. And yeah, it was just too high, man. It was just too far away. Risk was too wide for that to be a practical target. But I mean, it did the thing. It did the thing. It continued up, made a new high of day, and went up to 1498, which would have been a really reasonable target if my level was 1465. The next whole dollar is a pretty reasonable target. But, I've been trying to eliminate the variables and just kind of trade my template, which is 2R targets. So I can't be mad at myself for not selling the whole dollar. What I would like to adjust from here, though, is to move up my stop. And the way I have it now, it's kind of like a feel thing. Like, move it up where it feels right, which, that never works for a rule. Because everything's different every day. And so what I've settled on here after this experience, and just watching my last few trades, is I'm gonna move my stop up on the 5 minute closes. So my stop would have gotten up to 1478 after this candle close, and which puts me about right here. And so, I would have missed this amount of profit there, but that would have been above break even. And could have turned this smaller than 1 hour loss into a tiny winner, you know. And I think this is a good enough move to not get a loss out of. It's just obvious that the reason it failed was because my risk was just too wide. My risk was just too wide. And typically what I've noticed is that when the entry is wide, if it works, usually it'll throw a more narrow pullback after that entry. So I mean, I really could have used this retest as my entry here. Use this red candle as my entry, which would have given me about a 10-cent stop instead of a 20-cent stop. You know, and 10 cent, so 20 cent, I would have needed the 20-cent target above 78, and it went to 98. That's 2R right there. So there's some adjustments to make as far as the entry, but the main thing right now is focusing on stocks that have gapped up on the daily over recent highs, which this one did. Catalyst, relative increased relative volume, so the daily is in play. And man, that 200 EMA right there, that definitely could have been a target at 15 for sure. But and then the setup checks all the boxes. Like, just to get to where I'm only taking trades that check all the boxes. That's the whole purpose of this one trade a day thing. So yeah, it sucks to miss the target and let it come back and actually be a loss. But as far as stock selection and entry criteria, this was a big W for sure. And I mean, a clear path towards not letting these types of moves turn into losers either. I'm like, officially tomorrow will be keeping my stop 2 cent below the 5 minute close. Simple as that. Um, yeah, so that'll help turn these type of trades into much smaller losses, if not break even or winning trades. Um, and I could have kept my 2R target and just captured some with my stop. And if it didn't break out over 15 and go to target, then get what you get and don't pitch a fit. Just be good with that. So yeah, yeah. So not a bad session. Not a bad session at all. It sucks to sit through such a long trade and end up red for sure. And just looking at all the lines that were crossed to tell me that the move was done, but you just be on that hopium, like, okay, yeah, we dipped below the EMA, but let's see if we can retake it, and then it retakes it, lower high. All right, maybe we'll do a lower low. I mean, a higher low, and then make our way back above. It's like, okay, well, it wants to come back and test HVS. All right, came back, nice wick right there. Now we're gonna go. And then, okay, now it wants to come test VWAP. All right, cool. We're gonna test VWAP, and then we're gonna go. Like, I let it fail all of those ideas and all this break of structure. Really, man. Once this candle closed right here, I should have been out of there. But yeah, I'm just gonna do the 5 minute close. Super simple. I'm entering on the one. There's no need for me to sit through a 5 minute pullback that's making new lows. 5 minute consolidation. Okay, cool. I can sit through that. But 5 minute pullback, nah, we out. We missed it. It's over with. Um, yeah, but that's it. My bad, Frank. I didn't mean to blast you like that. um, yeah, so we're still green, up almost 3R on the month, and then today we lost 0.7R, so about 2R up, and we still got Thursday and Friday, so just if I can just hit one trade, we should be good for the week, as far as a green week and staying green on the month. But man, one trade a day, and I had no trade day on Thursday, and then we were closed Friday, so it's going well, man. It's going well. The winners are bigger than the losers, and I'm really excited. Like, the thing that I wanted one trade a day to do it's happening. It's working. So being more patient, being more selective, and it's still tough. There was a trade. What was that? ALK maybe. Yeah, this ALK trade, was very tempting for me for a moment, and then I looked at this volume and was like, no, let me put my line up here, my HVS line, and very clear that we can't take this trade. I was looking at this right here, like, man, take that. The next candle will make a new high, but yeah, we would have to make another high above this level, and then and test and hold that level for me to take a trade. And I was tempted, but I stood my ground and you know, stayed out of this bad trade that didn't fit. So we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Hopefully, you know, maybe be a whole nother trader by the end of this month. And you know, maybe I can give myself 3 strikes a day again. But I mean, honestly, when I was looking around, like there really wasn't you know, the top 3 gappers at the time that I was trading, they all faded. So, you know, this is actually the best opportunity, and I just kind of missed it as far as capitalizing on some of it, you know. But I don't know. Maybe I'll be a 1 trade a day type of guy. Maybe 1 or 2, you know. But we'll see. The point is to just be really picky and only trade the best setups. So yeah, man, having a good time. It's the sessions are a little more boring. You know, we're not getting bugs out every 5 minutes, and you know, all of that stuff. But only hearing order filled twice a session instead of over and over again. But I think we're getting closer to the goal here, which is control and consistency. Yeah, but anyway, appreciate all you guys for hanging out and supporting. Hit that like button for me if you could. Subscribe if you haven't. Discord link is in the description, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.